So breath is a basic principle of Pilates. In Pilates, we have a specific breath pattern that we ask of you, and a lot of people have asked me why. So in Pilates, we inhale through the nose and exhale out through slightly pursed lips. The slightly pursed lips creates a smaller hole, which kind of helps the muscles of the trunk to push that air out a little more forcefully and engage those muscles. Those muscles are the ones that we saw in my last post. The diaphragm, the transverse abdominis, the pelvic floor, and a little bit the multifidi all kind of want to work together to create this can or tank sensation of the body that helps to stabilize it in order for the rest of the body to move a little more freely with that support. So let's specifically look at the transverse abdominis and how to engage it, which is very confusing because it's this really deep muscle. It's a stabilizer muscle, not a mover, so it's difficult for us to understand the sensation of it if we never have. So why don't we look at that a little bit? Okay, so engaging the transverse abdominis. We're gonna start by lying down on our backs, knees up to the ceiling, feet on the floor, somewhere where it's comfortable for your hips and knees. Find your neutral spine, your neutral placement, so I have a little space under my low back. The front facing of my pelvis is flat to the ceiling, yeah? So I'm gonna start by finding my fingers on my ASIS. My ASIS, that is that bony landmark at the very front and kind of top of your pelvis that protrudes out a little bit. So fingertips there, they're gonna start walking in towards my midline, about an inch, inch and a half, depending on your pelvis. And it should be a place where the flesh is just a little bit more forgiving and a little softer. You're gonna take those fingertips and just gently apply a little pressure down into the body, just a little. And then we're gonna find our breath. Take a big inhale through your nose, exhale out through pursed lips. As you do, imagine the muscles of the trunk are just gently hugging the organs inside, or you can imagine the muscles of the trunk are gently hugging that LaCroix can. Yeah, don't let it roll away, just gently hug it in. That hugging sensation should gently engage your transverse abdominis, and you should feel your fingers just gently get pressed up with the engagement of the transverse abdominis underneath them. If you were to engage the muscles of the trunk a little bit farther past the hugging sensation into full contraction, you'll feel your fingertips lift up even more, which is engaging the obliques, the next layer above the transverse abdominis. So the obliques are there for flexion, side bending, and rotation. So in exercises and positions that we aren't really utilizing those things, we don't want the obliques to be on, but we do want the transverse abdominis to be on, because like I said, the transverse abdominis is helping to stabilize and support our torso so that the body can be moving more freely with support, yeah? So try it again, take a big inhale, exhale through the pursed lips, and try to find that in-between place where just the transverse abdominis is on and not the obliques. Find that inner LaCroix can. Start to imagine the pelvic floor, the diaphragm, and the multifidi all supporting each other to create this nice supported trunk. Yeah.